All right, so we've been discussing something quite here. It might elicit some responses, but I saw something just yesterday. This was the case of maybe I should just read it exactly as it is here. Okay, yeah. Let me just read it so that I read with names and all of that so that you understand. This is, of course, of Lad Bible. This was in the UK. It's a story of a granddad who passed on. Frederick Ward Sr. Threw his family into carnage after he died in 2020. Now, despite having a £500,000 fortune to his name at the time of his death, he left his grandchildren on one of his son's side £50 each. His son, Terry Ward, and Susan Wilshire received most of his fortune and his £450,000 flat. Frederick left his grandchildren the square root of F, all due to the fact he was disappointed they never came and visited him when he was hospitalized with a lung condition. Now, despite a lawsuit from the grandchildren, a High Court judge ruled that Ward's will, which he wrote in 2018, was based on rational grounds, being that they had limited contact with him in his final ways. Do you agree with the judge's decision?
Hello.
I don't know. Where do the kids get off feeling entitled to their father's
I
money? don't get it. You were not there for him when he was going through his darkest and most traumatic period of his life, probably. And then he dies, and then you're even suing the man.
Because, some people have actually won suits like that. They've sued against that. Is this person, is it rational? Was the person, because we've seen stuff where, somebody, especially when it comes to an aged parent, and there's this first class scenario where you get a woman or a wife who was probably younger than the kids. And something happens, and blah, 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 blah. And the man wills everything. In fact, there's a story where this crime series now, I will get the name now of a movie that had that sort of premise, where a younger woman comes into the picture to take, and I'm saying this because it hits personal on different levels with people I know around me, where we're getting older, yeah? When you think about it, have you thought about what happened in your 60s and your 70s? A lot of people maybe you probably know might have passed on, or people might not be so much around you. And it's at that time, if somebody is manipulative enough, somebody who maybe claims to be a family friend that is around you at that time, that gives you some form of comfort, knowing that you might just soon pass or something, and then you have some form of wealth, and then people that have been there for you, I've seen something happen where family or something, you forget them, and then you bequeath that will to that person who was around at that period when you're about to pass on. And so you see where family says, we've been there. Okay, we're not around at this time, probably because, we're in Nigeria now where, look, one family or the other, everybody has somebody that has jackpot or something, and they say, we're not around at that period. And then this woman just came in at this point and gave, was it rational? Yeah. And so the discussion goes on back and forth. But my point is that it is not clearly always black and white. There can be a number, it's not, it can be unique. Each case can be unique in its own way. So I've seen these kind of things happen in different ways and all of that. And so these kids came to contest and they said, look, the judge was, But in this kind of case now, you're suing, are you suing the will? Are you suing the person that's passed on? Who are you suing here in the first place?
So it's not a suit. They are presenting the case, right, to the judge. I won't call it a suit per se. So it's just like a contest, right? On fine, this will is on this, except like is a direct suit to whoever probably got a larger share of the will and all of that. But in most cases, when it comes to wills and all of that, there's a process and procedure. So it's not an outright suit. You can literally just put forward before the judge to literally contest the credibility and the
authenticity of the will.
Or if the person was in his right mind.
Yeah. So as you said, there can be a hearing of like insanity or a plea for insanity.
Amnesia or something. Look at Wendy Williams.
And all that. So I feel, first of all, I don't think there's any law, right, that literally states who a will should go to, right? There's no law that says you can literally have kids and decide, fine, you want to give your cats all your fortune. And there's actually happened, like we've actually had cases like that. Do you understand? Some people literally will all they have to charity and all of that for a reason. There's nothing that says, that stipulates, okay, fine, because you have children, all your possessions must go to them.
Except you didn't write a will.
And all of that. Except you didn't write a will, yeah. And then again, it also depends on the jurisdiction, who goes, all your possessions and all that goes to. So, and I feel, yeah, it happens where, people feel more, because in that age, right, you're super sensitive, and then you're also older, and that's when you need the care. Do you understand? Your kids cannot be there for you and all that. So it's normal that in that time...
Because they're probably living their own lives.
They're living their own lives. Yes, but at the same time, no matter how much of your own life you're living, there's still room to literally consider the fact that when you were a kid, your parents had their lives to live.
But they still invested all that time and their money and sacrifices to you. Yeah, I think, because to be honest, I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, I was having a conversation with someone about, the roles that we play, especially, so what actually spurred the conversation was the Gen Zs and their ideologies to if your parents scold you, toxic, trauma, everything is, is seen as, intertwined in that regard. And I say that at the end of the day, regardless of who your parents are, what is your role? What have you done? What can you categorically say that, you have done to prove to them that I'm doing it better than you did it? Do you understand? That is where the difference, or that is where that's where the difference is. What are you doing to prove to them that, okay, mommy, I love you regardless, but this is how I am going to do it. So try to show them how it should have been done. We have seen how, parents get better with age. They sort of, they become lighter, they become more endearing, they become sweeter. Some of them might become more difficult due to certain conditions that they're going through, maybe mental health conditions. I mean, look at Wendy Williams. There has been viral videos of her, being...
it's a whole documentary, man.
That's, to everyone. But everybody
shouldn't have been released.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been released because it's making her look like a villain. But it is actually because of the mental condition that she
I know why people are happy. I know a lot of people are happy.
She stepped on a lot of toes when,
What is she? She's doing what? You know what she's doing? She's doing what everybody's doing on Twitter now. That's what she started.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was stepping on toes. Was it stepping on toes? Gossip, I heard something happen. I bring it, I put two and two together.
No, but her opinions about it were always very
that's for the show. That's my point.
It was show business.
Because she's doing what everybody's doing now. Everybody go on Twitter now. I mean, by the way, yesterday Instagram and Facebook went down and everybody went about, Twitter.
Funny enough, I didn't notice.
Elon Musk.
It was later when I came, in the night when I came back and I realized I'm like, everybody was like, Instagram was there, Instagram was there. I was like, okay.
But the major talk is how petty Elon Musk is. Guy went, remember that we are still up.
I love it.
I saw it.
I love it so much.
Petty much, Elon, petty much.
All right, what are your thoughts on that particular situation we mentioned, a will and the grandchildren contesting a will? By the way, who would you leave your possessions for? Have you thought about it? It could happen anytime. All right, but hey, come on. Let's know. Hit us up.
They want to leave out.
What's random? What's wrong with you people? TVC Entertainment _. Let us know your thoughts there on social media. I'll be back after this time out.
Ciao.